Dear Starseed from Gaia, what's left of 2026 will rewrite your entire love story, and the shift has already begun within your heart. I am Ophelia, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and the reunion guides are speaking through me with a message meant for this exact moment. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to align with divine union. But here's the first revelation. The love you thought was delayed may be preparing to return in a form that finally honors your healed heart. You didn't find this message by chance. Your soul called it in because the old chapter is closing and divine timing is moving your sacred connection into a new season. This isn't just a message. It's a moment of divine intervention. Like this transmission to affirm to the universe, my heart is ready for divine love. Comment 1111 if you feel your heart awakening to divine truth. Your heart knows why you're here. What you just felt, that quiet ache mixed with recognition, is not sadness. It is your frequency remembering what it came here to receive. If this transmission stirred something you cannot name, the Divine Love frequency code was written for this exact moment in your journey. It contains 5 sacred Arcturian transmissions designed to dissolve the wounds blocking your divine counterpart and activate the signal that draws them closer. The link is in the first pinned comment, but it will only remain there for a short time. And now, stay with the feeling that has opened inside you, because what is being revealed is more tender than the mind may expect. The love story changing in the months ahead is not beginning with another person suddenly appearing to rescue you from the past. It is beginning with the part of you that no longer abandons itself in order to be chosen. It is beginning in the quiet place where you finally understand that being desired is not the same as being cherished, and being pursued is not the same as being met. Something within you has been standing at the edge of an old chapter, holding the door open long after the room stopped nourishing you. Perhaps you believed that if you waited a little longer, explained yourself more perfectly, or became more understanding, the story would finally become what you hoped it could be. But the soul knows when a lesson has become a loop. It knows when devotion has turned into self-erasure. It knows when the heart is not being asked to love more deeply, but to return more completely to itself. Most souls do not struggle with love because they are incapable of giving it. They struggle because, somewhere along the way, love became associated with uncertainty. They learned to read silence as a challenge, inconsistency as mystery, distance as proof of depth, and emotional exhaustion as evidence that the connection must be important. They were taught, sometimes through family, sometimes through past relationships, that to be loved meant becoming easier to keep, quieter to understand, and more willing to wait. Some learned to monitor the emotional weather of another person before checking the weather inside themselves. They became experts at noticing a change in tone, a delayed reply, a door that closed too softly. They called this intuition, but often it was the nervous system trying to prevent another surprise. They learned to make themselves useful, agreeable, endlessly patient, hoping that their goodness would persuade someone to stay. They offered understanding where they needed accountability, and offered access where they needed protection. But your heart is no longer willing to survive on fragments. It no longer wants to build a home from brief visits, beautiful memories, and promises that never become structure. It no longer wants to call a half-open door an invitation. The love within you is too vast to be fed by crumbs, and the deeper you awaken, the more impossible it becomes to pretend that crumbs are a feast. You are not becoming demanding. You are becoming honest about what sustains you. This is why the transition unfolding through the remainder of 2026 may feel so intense. Your emotional body is beginning to reject agreements that your soul has already outgrown. You may notice yourself losing interest in conversations that once consumed you. You may feel less willing to explain your needs to someone committed to misunderstanding them. You may experience an unfamiliar calm where there used to be obsession, or a sudden grief for the version of yourself who kept calling pain a promise. You might find that certain songs no longer pull you backward in the same way. Places that once carried a charge may begin to feel ordinary. You may wake from dreams about someone and realize that the dream was not calling you back to them. It was showing you how much of yourself had been left behind. You may feel restless, emotional, or strangely quiet as old attachments loosen their grip. This is not failure. It is the sound of an inner door closing gently, without the violence of the past. Do not mistake this recalibration for emptiness. The space being created is sacred. It is the clearing of an old relationship template. Think of a field after the harvest. To the untrained eye, it may appear bare, abandoned, and silent. But beneath the soil, roots are resting, minerals are rearranging, and the next season is preparing itself in darkness. Your life may look quiet in the places where you expected movement, but quiet does not mean nothing is happening. Sometimes the most important preparation occurs below the surface where no one else can applaud it. There is a difference between desiring love and being available for the kind of love your soul is asking for. Desire can come from loneliness, from comparison, from the wish to prove that someone finally sees your value. Availability comes from inner safety. It is the capacity to remain open without abandoning discernment, to feel deeply without losing your center, and to recognize that a powerful connection is not automatically a healthy one. Desire may say, "I want this person because they awaken something in me." Availability asks, "Can this connection hold what it awakens?" Desire may focus on the electricity of the beginning, the glances, the synchronicities, the magnetic pull. Availability also looks at the morning after, the intensity, the communication, the reliability, the tenderness, the willingness to repair. It understands that the sacred is not found only in lightning. It is also found in the steady flame that continues to burn when no one is performing. Your heart has been learning this distinction through every disappointment that forced you back to yourself. Every unanswered message, every almost relationship, every connection that awakened you but could not meet you, carried information. Some people arrived as mirrors. Some arrived as catalysts. Some arrived to reveal the exact place where you were still negotiating against your own worth. Their purpose was not always to stay. Their purpose was to illuminate the doorway. You may have wanted certain people to be the destination, only to discover that they were the signpost. They showed you what you craved, what you feared, what you tolerated, and where your own light had been placed in someone else's hands. Even the connections that ended painfully may have carried a strange mercy. They brought hidden patterns into the light. They made it impossible to continue living from the old belief that love must be purchased with your peace. The first key is the worthiness unlock. You must stop treating love as a reward for perfect healing. A hidden part of you may still believe that once you become more attractive, more successful, more spiritual, more patient, or more healed, then love will finally be safe to receive. You may imagine that there is a future version of you who will be so calm, so radiant, and so complete that abandonment will no longer be possible. But worthiness is not a level you reach after completing every lesson. It is the ground beneath the lessons. You were worthy before the heartbreak. You were worthy during the confusion. You were worthy in the moments when you sent the message you later regretted. When you stayed too long. When you did not yet know how to protect your heart. You were worthy when your boundaries were still being formed. You were worthy when you mistook potential for promise. You were worthy when you cried over someone who could not hold your tears. The mistakes you made may require compassion, responsibility, and growth, but they do not revoke your right to receive love. A child does not need to earn the sun. A flower does not apologize before opening. The soul does not become sacred through achievement. It remembers that it was sacred all along. Healing does not make you deserving. Healing helps you stop choosing what denies your deserving. Place one hand over your heart and notice whether you can allow that truth to enter without arguing with it. You do not need to force yourself to believe it completely. Begin by making room for the possibility that love is not something you must earn through suffering. Each time you refuse to chase what is unavailable, each time you speak honestly instead of performing indifference, each time you rest instead of proving, the worthiness code becomes more embodied. Your energy stops saying, "Please choose me," and begins saying, "I am available for what chooses me clearly." Let this become practical. When you feel the impulse to send one more message, pause and ask whether you are expressing love or trying to regulate fear. When you notice yourself shrinking in need, ask whether silence is truly peace or simply self-abandonment, wearing a peaceful face. When someone offers you only uncertainty, do not rush to fill the gaps with imagination. Allow their behavior to speak. In this way, worthiness becomes more than an affirmation. It becomes a daily form of self-protection and self-honor. The second key is mirror recognition. Your divine counterpart does not appear to complete a self you have been taught to distrust. The deepest relationship reflects the relationship you are willing to have with your own truth. This does not mean you must become perfectly whole before meeting someone meaningful. It means you must become honest about what you are bringing into the connection. If you are afraid of abandonment, you may mistake constant reassurance for love. If you are afraid of engulfment, you may mistake emotional distance for freedom. If you have learned to earn affection, you may feel strangely suspicious when someone gives it without requiring a performance. You may even feel drawn toward what confirms an old story, because the familiar can feel safer than the unknown. A person who is emotionally unavailable may awaken the ancient task of proving yourself. A person who is consistent may initially feel too simple, too quiet, or even boring because your system has learned to associate adrenaline with attraction. This is why self-awareness matters. Without it, the mirror can be misread. You may call a wound your soulmate and call safety a lack of chemistry. The mirror is not here to shame you. It is here to show you which parts of yourself still need a home. When you begin to offer yourself the patience you once demanded from another person, your attraction patterns start to change. You may still feel chemistry, but chemistry will no longer be enough. You will listen for emotional availability. You will notice whether someone's words and actions belong to the same reality. You will feel the difference between a connection that activates your wounds and one that invites your expansion. The heart becomes wiser without becoming colder. You begin to recognize that a mirror can reflect both your beauty and your unfinished places. The purpose is not to become a flawless reflection, but an honest one. Ask yourself what you want love to confirm about you. Do you want it to prove that you are finally enough? Or do you want it to accompany the truth that you were always enough? The answer will quietly reshape the kind of connection you permit to remain near you. The third key is karmic release. Old contracts must be dissolved, not because the past was meaningless, but because it has completed what it came to teach. There may be people whose names still live in the quiet rooms of your mind. You may wonder whether the bond was real because you still feel it, but feeling a cord does not mean you are meant to keep pulling on it. Some cords are made of love, and some are made of unfinished grief. Some remain because you are still waiting for an apology, an explanation, or a different ending that the other person may never be able to provide. Sometimes the heart keeps a connection alive because it believes that letting go would make the pain meaningless. But the pain does not become meaningless when you move forward. The lesson becomes integrated. The love becomes part of your history instead of the ruler of your future. A chapter can be precious and still be complete. A person can have been important and still no longer belong in your daily emotional life. Release does not require you to deny what happened. It asks you to stop using what happened as evidence against your future. You can honor the tenderness without reopening the door. You can forgive without returning. You can acknowledge that someone changed you without continuing to let them define the limits of your happiness. When you release an old contract, you are not erasing a soul connection. You are returning responsibility to the people who carry it. Their choices belong to them. Your healing belongs to you. Imagine placing the old relationship into a river. You are not throwing it away with anger. You are allowing the current of life to carry it to the place where all completed lessons go. You keep the memories that made you more compassionate, the wisdom that made you more discerning, and the parts of yourself that became visible through the experience. You release the waiting, the monitoring, the rehearsing of conversations, and the hope that another person's transformation must occur before yours can begin. Try this quietly. Speak the names of the relationships you are ready to release and then say, I keep the wisdom. I return the weight. Let the sentence be simple. Let the body understand that it no longer has to remain loyal to an identity built around waiting. The fourth key is divine timing. Surrender. This is not passive waiting. It is the end of fighting reality. Many people hear the words divine timing and use them to remain attached to a specific outcome. They tell themselves that a person will return, that a delayed message has cosmic meaning, or that every obstacle proves the connection is destined. But surrender is not the spiritualization of uncertainty. Surrender is the willingness to let truth reveal itself without forcing it to become the truth you prefer. There is a difference between trusting the unfolding and assigning destiny to every delay. One opens the hands, The other keeps the hands clenched around a prediction. You are allowed to hope, but hope must not become a prison. You are allowed to sense a soul connection, but that sense must not be used to excuse neglect, betrayal, or the absence of mutual effort. If someone is meant to walk with you, their presence will eventually become compatible with clarity. You will not have to build an entire relationship from hints, memories, dreams, and potential. The timing of your soul will never require you to betray your nervous system indefinitely. If the path brings someone back, let them return through the doorway of changed action. Let them speak plainly. Let them acknowledge what occurred. Let them demonstrate the maturity required to create something new. Do not accept the ghost of a connection simply because you missed the body it once had. There may be a season when nothing seems to move externally, yet everything is moving within you. You are developing the ability to recognize peace. You are learning not to confuse intensity with intimacy. You are becoming available for a love that does not need to be chased into existence. This is sacred timing, not a punishment, not a delay designed to test your loyalty, but the gradual alignment of two lives with the capacity to meet honestly. The fifth key is magnetic embodiment. Become the energy you are asking love to bring into your life. You cannot call in emotional safety while treating your own emotions as inconveniences. You cannot ask for consistency while repeatedly making exceptions for inconsistency. You cannot ask for devotion while remaining devoted to the version of someone who exists only in your imagination. The frequency of love is not created by pretending to be unbothered. It is created by becoming congruent. Congruence means your boundaries match your values. Your choices match your self-respect. Your private beliefs about yourself begin to match the love you say you desire. It means you no longer offer a future to people who are only offering a moment. It means you allow yourself to be seen, but you do not hand your power to anyone simply because they have recognized your beauty. This may look like leaving a conversation before it turns cruel. It may look like declining a relationship that offers chemistry but no commitment. It may look like allowing someone to be disappointed rather than betraying yourself to keep them comfortable. It may look like creating a life so full of meaning that love becomes a sacred addition, not an emergency supply of identity. Magnetism is not manipulation. It is resonance. When your life carries the atmosphere of the relationship you desire, the wrong connections become harder to maintain. You may still encounter them, but they no longer feel like home. Your body notices the difference before your mind can explain it. Ask yourself, not what kind of person you want to attract, but what kind of emotional environment you are ready to participate in. Are you ready for honest conversations? For mutual effort? For being loved in ordinary moments, not only in dramatic ones? For letting a relationship grow slowly enough that trust can become real? Your answer is part of the signal you are sending. The sixth key is separation wisdom. Distance is not always rejection, and closeness is not always union. Some separations happen because two people are being asked to mature beyond the patterns that make contact painful. Others happen because the relationship has ended, and the heart needs time to stop bargaining with that truth. The wisdom is not in assuming every distance is temporary. The wisdom is in asking what the distance is revealing. Is it teaching you to communicate more honestly? Is it showing you where you have been overgiving? Is it asking you to reclaim a dream, a friendship, a part of your identity that became smaller inside the connection? Is it giving you the chance to learn that missing someone does not obligate you to return to the same dynamic? Distance can reveal whether a bond is rooted in freedom or possession. When someone is absent, do you still know who you are? Can you care for them without abandoning your own life? Can you allow silence to contain information instead of rushing to rescue the connection from it? These questions may hurt, but they carry the medicine of truth. If reunion is aligned, it will require more than longing. It will require more than longing. It will require changed behavior, accountability, and a new emotional structure. A reunion that only resurrects the old pain is not the fulfillment of the bond. It is a repetition seeking closure. Let separation teach you the difference. The seventh key is reunion readiness. The final lock opens from within. You do not become ready for sacred love by eliminating every fear. You become ready by refusing to let fear make every decision. You become ready when you can receive affection without immediately searching for the hidden loss. When you can communicate a need without apologizing for having one. when you can walk away from confusion without calling it a failure, when you can let someone love you without testing them until they prove they are human. Readiness is not a perfect heart. It is an available heart with discernment. It is the ability to let love approach without gripping it, and to let love leave without believing that your entire future has left with it. It is knowing how to remain tender without becoming porous to every energy. It is understanding that trust is not blindness. Trust is the gradual confidence built when reality repeatedly proves itself safe. The person who meets you in this next chapter may not arrive with the same emotional signature as the people from your past. They may feel less dramatic, less intoxicating, less like a storm. At first, peace can feel unfamiliar to a nervous system trained by inconsistency. You may wonder where the obsession is, where the urgency is, where the constant signs are. But love that is aligned does not need to keep you in a state of emergency to hold your attention. Allow yourself to learn a new language of attraction. Let steadiness become beautiful. Let directness become seductive. Let someone's ability to show up become more compelling than their ability to awaken your longing. Let the ordinary tenderness of being considered reach the places that once believed love had to hurt in order to be profound. Notice the small sacred acts, someone remembering what matters to you, asking how you truly are, making room for your voice, repairing after tension, respecting your no, and celebrating your growth without feeling threatened by it. These moments may seem less cinematic than the great declarations of the past, but they are where trust becomes a living thing. Love does not always arrive as a thunderclap. Sometimes it arrives as a consistent presence that your body slowly learns it no longer has to fear. Here is the deeper revelation your higher self has been trying to place in your hands. The love story being rewritten is not only about who enters your life. It is about who you are when they arrive. The old version of you may have waited for a sign while ignoring the evidence. The new version will recognize the sign in the evidence itself. A person who follows through is a sign. A conversation that leaves you more honest is a sign. A relationship that allows both people to remain fully human is a sign. You no longer need to decode every silence when someone is willing to speak. You have spent enough time asking whether you are being chosen. Now you are being invited to ask whether what is choosing you is worthy of your heart. This is the turning point, not because every uncertainty disappears overnight, but because your center returns. You begin to understand that your future is not held hostage by one person's readiness. Your destiny is not canceled by a door that closed. Your capacity for divine love does not depend on whether someone from the past finally recognizes what they lost. The Arcturian heart wisdom carried through this moment is simple. What is truly aligned with your soul will not require the destruction of your soul to obtain it. You may still grieve. You may still have days when the old longing returns. That does not mean you have lost your progress. Healing is not the absence of memory. It is the absence of obedience to the memory. You can remember someone and still choose yourself. You can love someone and still stop waiting. You can feel a connection and still ask whether it has the structure to support a life. There will be moments when the past knocks softly, perhaps through a song, a dream, a familiar name, or an unexpected message. When that happens, you do not have to panic or interpret it as a command. Pause, breathe. Ask what is being stirred and what the wiser version of you would do with the feeling. A memory is not an instruction. A longing is not a prophecy. Your body can feel the wave without becoming the ocean. Tonight, if you feel guided, place your hand over your heart and breathe slowly. Say, I release the love that required me to disappear. I welcome the love that can meet me in truth. I trust what is leaving. I trust what is becoming. And I trust what is becoming. And I trust the wisdom of my heart. Do not say it to force a person toward you. Say it to call yourself back. Let the words move beyond the mind and enter the places that have been waiting for permission to rest. Let your shoulders soften. Let the breath reach the lower part of your body. Imagine a gentle, blue-white light surrounding your heart, not as a wall, but as a field of discernment. It does not close you off from love. It teaches love how to approach you with reverence. The months ahead may bring conversations, endings, introductions, unexpected invitations, or a quiet internal shift that changes the way you interpret everything. Do not measure the transformation only by whether someone returns. Measure it by whether you return to yourself more quickly. Measure it by whether your standards become compassionate instead of defensive. Measure it by whether you can feel hope without making a promise to an outcome. The clearest evidence of transformation may be subtle. You may stop checking for signs because you have begun trusting your own perception. You may no longer need to tell the entire story to justify why something hurt. You may recognize that closure is sometimes the moment you stop asking a closed door to explain itself. You may find yourself choosing a peaceful evening over an uncertain encounter, and realize that this choice is not loneliness. It is loyalty to the life that is still unfolding. Your heart is not late. It is not defective. It has been learning how to distinguish the familiar from the sacred. It has been learning that the familiar can be a cage decorated with memories, while the sacred may first appear as open sky. It has been learning that not every intense bond is a divine assignment, and not every peaceful bond is lacking passion. It has been learning to honor the wisdom of the body, the clarity of action, and the quiet messages that arrive when the mind finally becomes still. And when the love aligned with your highest path meets you, you will not have to become less mysterious, less sensitive, less ambitious, or less deep to keep it. You will not have to audition for a place in someone's life. You will not have to translate your needs into silence. You will recognize the connection, not because it creates endless questions, but because it gives your truth somewhere safe to land. You will feel the difference in the way your energy expands instead of contracts. You will not constantly wonder where you stand, because the relationship will make room for clarity. You will not be punished for having a heart. You will not be asked to choose between intimacy and dignity. The love meant to accompany your becoming will not fear the full size of your spirit. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of what's forming here. Drop one intention in the comments, something real from your heart journey. Then respond to someone else's with encouragement or love. This isn't content, it's collective healing. Love multiplies when hearts connect. If something in this message resonated, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your life is waiting for this exact activation. Share it. And if you felt a soul nudge, subscribe. Stay in the flow of divine love guidance. You're not just watching, you're healing. This is your sacred space, and we're just getting started.